Most people believe their limitations are an accident of birth or a stroke of bad luck. They wake up in a life they don't recognize and wonder who built the walls. But if you look closely at the architecture of your days, you will find a disturbing truth. You are not a prisoner of fate. You are the architect of your own prison. You didn't stumble into this cell. You designed it brick by brick, yes by yes, and not yet by not yet. It began with a search for safety. You were told that the world was dangerous, that the unknown was a threat, and that the only way to survive was to build a fortress. So you started with the foundation, the fine life. You traded your volatility for stability, your curiosity for a career path, and your truth for social approval. You call it being realistic, but realism is just the mortar you use to keep the bricks from moving. Look at the blueprint you've been following. It wasn't drawn by your soul, it was drafted by your fear. It is a layout of exits you never took and windows you kept shuttered. Every time you felt the call of the void and chose the comfort grave instead, the walls grew an inch higher. Every time you used your ideal self as a weapon to shame your current self, you reinforced the ceiling. You have optimized your existence until there is no room left for a human being. You have created a space where nothing can hurt you, but nothing can reach you either. You are the only inhabitant of a perfectly managed decline. The air in here is stagnant, the light is artificial. And the most terrifying part isn't that you are trapped. The most terrifying part is that the keys are in your pocket. The tragedy of the architect is that he forgets he is building a wall until he can no longer see the horizon. Every time you chose realism over your own potential, you laid another course of brick. You convinced yourself that the social ghost, the version of you that others approve of, was the only one that mattered. But the materials of this prison aren't stone and mortar. They are the architecture of resentment, the small kindnesses you performed while your soul was screaming in protest. You built the east wall out of perfectionism, ensuring that nothing ever starts so that nothing can ever fail. You built the west wall out of comparison, using the wins of others to prove your own inadequacy. And then you installed the ultimate security system, the mind that never stops talking. It fills the silence with enough noise to drown out the internal sabotage. The silence is heavy because it is the only place where the truth can reach you. It is the place where you realize that being a good person was just a mask for being a coward. You aren't protecting the world from your darkness. You are protecting your comfort from the light. The construction is almost complete. The roof is being lowered into place. The productivity trap that keeps you too busy to notice the walls closing in. You are optimizing a prison cell. You are decorating a tomb. You have spent years perfecting the prison. You have decorated the walls with awards, filled the shelves with books, and convinced yourself that the ceiling is the sky. But there is a crack in the east wall. It is a small, jagged line of light that appeared the moment you stopped pretending you were fine. Demolition doesn't require a wrecking ball. It requires a decision. It requires you to acknowledge that the guard standing at the door is not your enemy. It is a version of you that is terrified of the open field. The ideal self you've been chasing. He is the warden. He is the one who tells you that you aren't ready to leave yet. Burn the blueprints. Stop trying to improve your cage and start tearing it down. When you drop the persona trap, the walls lose their weight. When you step into the fear of silence, the internal noise finally dies. You will feel the wind for the first time in a decade. It will be cold and it will be terrifying. But it is the only place where the version of you that never happened can finally exist. The architect is finished, the prison is open, the field is waiting.